Alessandro Lanaro got to the finish in 88th position. Others, well, they struggled. Two-time victor of the Dakar, tall, lanky and strong, Fabrizio Mioni on KTM number 4. He finished in 7th position, while Palander's Oliver Seta 9th. The reigning Rally Raid world champion. Good solid start. Isidre Esteve Puyol in the local colours in front of the local crowd. He was 11th, some 42 seconds back of Frétigné. Dupre and Cox left the start, but Cox had a crash and in fact lost relatively masses of time. He finished 49th on the stage, plus 1 minute 39 seconds. Back in a stage 1 in 4 minutes 11 seconds by Frétigné. Mr. Unlucky, Giovanni Sala broke his clutch, and even he struggled to push his KTM over the damp sand. Mark Comer and Isidre Esteve came to the rescue. They dragged him over the finish line. Not sure if that's quite allowed, but he finished in the 183rd place. Particularly difficult for the later runners through the 6 kilometre stage. The whole place getting completely chewed up. And even 2 vehicles struggling to get through the sand. And then getting another one stuck. The quads and the motorcycles. And one guy running into such trouble, but looking serene, imperial even, as he got transported out of the stage. Nissan won 4 stages, but they had weak reliability, leaving Vatanen and McRae stranded out in the desert for a couple of days and nights, waiting for their service truck. What was never in doubt was the team's speed. They've always been quick. The trucks continued today on the Telefonica Dakar, stage 4 for them, 123 kilometres down from Rabat to Agadir. Vladimir Chagin, the victor of the stage, ahead of Gerard Deroy, Kabirov and Mardif. Overall, though, Chagin continues to lead from Gerard Deroy, but there was a big accident further down the field for one of the service vehicles, number 854, the Mercedes, with Kell, Vilnem and Osman driving. It was a biggie. You can see why the organisers have tried to limit these trucks to 150 kilometres an hour. It was a big accident as everything spilled out of the truck. A couple of minor injuries, but otherwise people okay. He has to come to a halt. Now, the service truck for Rally Arts crashed yesterday on a nasty corner with fortunately only minor injuries for one of the crew. The BMW X-Ray truck pulled them back onto their wheels. And then later that evening, the X-Ray crew 6th in the overall standings. Now, this is the big news of the day. Two-time victor of the Dakar 2002, 2003, Hiroshi Matsuoka stopping with a major suspension failure on the stage with his Evo 3 Mitsubishi. Andrea Meyer, really the sort of quick service vehicle for the quicker Mitsubishi Pajeros, stopping and asking if Matsuoka needed any help. And a quick assumption by the co-driver saying, well, no, and Hiroshi sportingly saying, don't wait for me, you do your own rally, I'm going to be here for a long, long while. In fact, he had to wait for the service truck to come through the stage, which means that Matsuoka is going to be losing some 3-4 hours at least, and therefore he's out of a chance to win his third Dakar. Matsuoka still in the...
Bah, la voiture, elle est complètement détruite, Il y a le pont avant qui est à 100 mètres de la caisse.
Wouldn't want to have been in Paul Belmondo's car though. What an accident this was. No wheels left on the my wagon. The former Formula One driver and the long-time circuit driver in the Dakar, and now out of it. Fortunately, amazingly, he was okay. Co-driver saying it was well over 100 miles an hour, 162 kilometers an hour, and we just went over and over. You can see where we landed momentarily. We were up in the air. We felt like we went over 25 times. Look at that, the complete rear end completely ripped out of his Nissan. Thanks be to God. What about this? Look at this Toyota. This is Christian Lasser and Alain Labarbe from France. A ginormous crash. I have never seen anything as big as this in all my years of motorsport, but fortunately once more the medical crew's radioing ahead and saying that there is no problem. Other people had smaller, if not more comical problems. Now we're with Ellen Law, the German DTM driver and truck driver, competing in her first Dakar, saying we've got all sorts of electrical problems, and as you can imagine with electrical problems, they're there 1 minute, they've gone the next, and you can't see them. The satellite telephones were being put to good use with herself and a co-driver, and eventually found the switch, and it burst back into life, but not for long. Now we're with the Pro Truck number 458. As you can see, a wheel completely missing, but they're looking for the entire hub section. The whole front corner has just dissipated away somewhere in the sand, and they were out left on the track trying to find out where the parts were. They managed to find some of them. Clive Town and Patsy Quick from the UK, still in the rally and doing well. They teamed up with other riders and had a good run through, whilst this bowler Wildcat was also in trouble. It had been over and over, and the Dutch crew were going to have a long afternoon as the shadows got longer and longer to repair the thing and get back in the rally. Fortunately, they did. And a mechanic's best friend, it's either a lump hammer, some tie wraps, or of course, what else? Duct tape. On board with Hans Becks once more, the former leader in the truck class on this year's Dakar, whilst the supply of duct tape was put to excellent use. It is a mechanic's best friend. What about this quad? Well, it was a quad. Other people had more fundamental problems with gravity, fortunately, at a slow speed. This rider thinking once, if not twice, if not three times about how to get through the tricky section, but he was okay. This one, fortunately okay, even if it looked spectacular. A 5.8 from the judges. The trucks may be limited to 150 kilometers an hour, but there can still be big accidents. Elsewhere, more fundamental problems. Run out of fuel. And some kind motorcyclist is giving a little bit of petrol to this car crew. Cheers, he says, as he tops up. Back with the trucks, we're on board with Gerard de Roy. Things going well with him at the moment, but not to be later on. He hit a bump and his DAF truck went onto its side. Big crash, but fortunately not as bad, but not three. Meanwhile, back with Gerard de Roy. He got into service, set about repairing his damaged DAF. They took the door off a service truck to replace the broken one on the race truck. Nothing like a lump hammer when you need one. Gerard saying, doesn't matter, no problem with the engine, that's the main thing. It's just the bodywork that looks bad. We'll be okay for the next stage. We've just really got to drive very carefully from now on in. Father Jan looks on. Really clubbed together a bit of money so that he could do the Dakar. Now KTM Australia have chipped in together with Motor X, and he and David Schwartz, his teammate, doing well. Andy 6th on the stage, now 4th overall, even though he had this quick tumble. Teammate David Schwartz, 30, with the Volkswagen buggy, was going a little bit too quickly, and he was over once, twice, 3 times, 4 times for Robbie Gordon. A big roll, but fortunately doesn't look too bad. The way that it seems to roll over, no real sharp corners, hitting the ground too hard. That's the way it looks, at least from here. Very, very lucky indeed to relatively get away with it. Gordon quickly out of the car, quickly running around the side of the car to see if literally there were still 4 wheels on his wagon. Look at the windscreen, for example. A little bit of damage, but not that much considering the kind of accident that car has just gone through.
That won't come out.
Robbie, few words. What happened exactly?
See that little tiny kickback right there? Just hit it, and just tripped it. No real reason. Bad luck, I guess. We were going okay. It was a really good run for us so far, but damn it. I don't know. Hopefully we can fix the car.
Robbie Gordon at the time of this broadcast still yet to come in to service here at Zurich, but he looks to be still in the rally. Fingers crossed, that's the main thing. He started the day second confusion, but look at this. If you look ahead and see Jutta Kleinschmidt nearly rolling it.
She's lucky, huh? Yeah, that was close.
Jutta Kleinschmidt going from one wheel to one wheel, maybe even no wheels at all, and catching up with Kleinschmidt after the stage, saying she doesn't even know how the thing landed on its feet. Then De Villiers had his puncture, bit of confusion actually, co-driver mistakenly unravelling the wrong wheel nuts. But this is the news of the day. Colin McRae out of the Dakar, an enormous crash for the 1995 world champion and the leader of the rally coming into this stage down to Zurich. Look at it, pieces strewn all over the place. McRae lucky to not have more serious injury. In fact, he lost his vision maybe for some 10 minutes as he got out of the car initially. He is a very, very lucky boy.
We just, there's a small bump about 150 metres back here, and the back of the car kicked very high and the front caught the ground, and then we rolled over.
It was a very full speed stage and a very full speed part.
Yeah, there's lots of places like this. It's, you know, full speed, and you have to be very careful with the bumps. It didn't look so bad, but I think the sand was very soft at the bottom, and the car dug in the sand and then flipped over.
Did you see this bump?
Yeah, I saw the bump, but you know, I didn't expect it to be so bad.
That's an incredible crash. What did you think after the crash? To be alive?
No, sure, just thankful. Thank God we're still here.
The difficult thing about when you get your bike stuck in the dune is to not dig it out. You've got to rock it onto its side, let the sand fall through the machine, and then get it back on its wheels. If anything is easier said than done, it's that. The trucks, they may be heavier, but they just seem to glide over the top. Other people got over the top, and then were very lucky to get away with more greater consequences. David Schwartz from Australia, the teammate of Andy Caldicott, struggling, but he's still in the rally. Other people nearly going end over end. But then, of course, the gentleman's agreement sign of a helmet at the top of a dune saying that there is a car the other side. Here we have Etienne Roulit. He's asking our cameraman if he's seen my brother, my frère. Where is my brother? He's number 174. But another crew has managed to find his brother Francois. The medical crew's helping him back on the bike, but that's still 160, 170 kilograms, if not more, of motorbike, and he travels about 3 meters and says, enough, it's over, I can't go on. He waits by the side of the stage for the broom wagon to arrive. That's the truck organised by the Dakar, about 50 litres per 100 clicks. We just can't get to the finish on only 20 litres. Now here's another big crash. One of the motorcycles being actually lifted up and out of the stage by one of the official helicopters. Martinier leads overall. Problems for one of the official vehicles, as you can see, stuck in the sand. Already had problems. The sand, ironically, a little moist out here in this stage, as did Kenjiro Shinazuka, yet another former victor of the Dakar. But look at that sand, it's just a little damp. Very, very difficult after just a splattering of rain out there on the stage. It has meant that it's just a little clammy, and that caused problems for Shinazuka. Another biggie has befallen the Japanese driver. He went end over end, the car completely destroyed, and as he had a couple of years ago, a big accident, he's pretty lucky to get away with this one. He says, I feel very, very sick about this accident. I'm very also worried about my co-driver, Pascal Maimon. He's had a big bang on his chest, quite winded. Co-driver Maimon saying, I'm worried for Shino. He's had a couple of big accidents now on the Dakar.
On laissait la bagarre devant parce que de toute façon on savait qu'on pouvait pas lutter et on pouvait qu'espérer des abandons dans les voitures de tête ou des sorties de route comme il y a eu hier.
We'll see. Shinazuka. Of yesterday's stage, 186 motorcycles started it, and this was one of many to go out. Fortunately for this rider, the medical crew's immediately on hand. A big mess made with the motorcycle. Jose Manuel Perez from Spain, a big off. The helicopter doctors immediately on the scene as fellow competitors wishing him well. And immediately the medical assistants whisking him off to the end of the stage and the safety of the field hospital. 660 kilometres, such as that. This is one of the trucks that's gone over. Fortunately, the broom wagon being able to wrench it back onto at least its side. That's one of the Estonian service trucks that has taken a tumble big time. This guy saying, I'm just trying to get the bike back onto its wheels, but I've hurt my back. Really injured. I think that's it. I think I'm not going to go any further. People absolutely banjaxed beyond all measure of even their imagination. This guy having a clutch failure. So they're taking all of the clutch plates out of the machine and gonna get on and fix it. Just to put things into perspective, at about this time, at the end of the stage, there may be only about 35 or 40 bikes actually having crossed the finish line. And the finish line from here was miles away. And when I say miles, I'm talking 250 miles or so. We're on board here with Elodie Mech, daughter of René Mech, former victor of the Dakar. Why so much dust? Why so much sand?
Alors, la totale, en plus du vent de sable, il pleut.
She says it's raining. Incredible. We've probably got better weather back home in Paris.
Pareil, à Paris, il fait meilleur.
You cannot believe it. There's Elodie calling the notes from the co-driver's seat. And here, one of the racing trucks making the fatal error. The Czech Republic team getting stuck in the sand. This is Karel Laprace, former victor of the Dakar in the truck section, getting stuck in the